here to talk about how to win every revenue moment. Please give it up for Andy Byrne.
Welcome, everybody. Excited to have everybody here. The first thing I wanted to do was let everybody know that I just got off a plane recently from Bangalore, India. So I am thrilled, but I am exhausted. But I do want to call out the amazing team that we have in India. It was incredible. They are building really special innovations around revenue to help our customers realize their fullest potential. Also, I just want to share that we're expanding our global footprint. We opened up Krakow, Poland, our operational and R&D center. Very excited about that. We're welcoming in Rohit Srivastava, who is our new Chief Product Officer that comes from companies of scale, Cisco, Amazon, and Anaplan. Really excited about that. And of course, most transformational moment of our history, acquiring Groove. Really excited. How about a round of applause for Groove, leader in sales engagement. Now, I'm going to tell you, here's a fun story. We saw the leader quadrants come out, and we had just switched to Groove from Outreach. And our teams fell in love with it. And I was talking to my CRO, Kevin Canarium, who fell in love with the product. And we said, look at these quadrants. Maybe someday, this was about 2 years ago, maybe someday we can merge these companies. And here we are. We're merging the powers of these two leaders to drive both internal workflows and external workflows. And with that, I really want to take a moment to bring up what is becoming a legendary person in our industry, Chris Rothstein, the co-founder and CEO of Groove. Chris, come on up. Come on up. All right. I said when we were going to get up here that you should be in the moment, enjoy this moment. So before you get into your shtick, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great. I'm in the moment.
You're in the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the moment. Okay. And how can we tell you're in the moment? How do you know you're in the moment right now? Sorry, I knew I was going to know. No. We want to make this real, right? We don't want it scripted.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just enjoying it. This is, it was a lot of kind of time and effort and great people that went into this. So I'm very much enjoying every moment.
Okay, well, let me just say one thing, if I may. I'm going to embarrass you. So in an acquisition process, you always start off with the strategy. And is it the right strategy? You go to your board and you think about the strategy, you think about the pros and cons, and there's all this data-driven stuff. One of the things that's really special about all three of our acquisitions, and Chris epitomizes this, is the people and building trust. And in the negotiations, it was about a year's worth of negotiating between us. And every meeting that we had, we built trust with each other. And once we got to a point where Chris and the board at Groove were ready, we started to meet the other Groovers. We met Austin, we met other people from Groove, and we just fell in love with the culture, with the people. And I think that's really a major part that you don't hear in acquisitions that makes acquisitions successful. And I just want to say, love you, love your team. And I know you want to say a few words, but thank you.
Yeah, and it was the same for us. Like, we were not, when Andy and I started talking, we were not trying to sell a company. When I started Groove, we were on this adventure of, just trying to make sure we were creating awesome products that were really helping our customers and experiences for everyone that was on the journey. But the more time I spent with Andy and then the team, the more I was like, gosh, we can accomplish all the goals we wanted and even do more and think even bigger. And that's when we got more and more excited, because it really felt like the team match was amazing. I felt like the opportunity to do far more for our customers and to innovate in the industry was even larger as a combined company. And then we got everyone behind it. It did take a while, but Andy did an amazing job building trust. Because if for someone that started the company, you have all these people sign up for the adventure. It's really hard to make that decision unless you feel like it's going to be a great home for everyone and a new adventure that's even better than the one that we felt we had started. So I'm super grateful and excited about this new starting line and next phase of Groove, and excited to bring a lot more innovation to the space.
Thank you, Chris. Round of applause for Chris. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, cool. And I just want to say thank you to the Grovers. We're going to do everything we can. We love your product. We love the people. And we're so excited to have this unified platform and help our customers realize their fullest potential. So let me just dive right in. This time last year, I was up on stage and we were all profoundly moved by the fact that we were all in this room and thinking, hey, we all share a common goal. We all share this unique goal of helping our companies realize their fullest potential by allowing them to transform how they run revenue. Can we make the revenue process more efficient? Can we make it more predictable? Can we make it more scalable? And we had this similar mindset. We talked about this last year in that revenue is not just an outcome, it's an actual business process. And it happens to be the most important business process in all of our companies. And we discussed how it's a privilege to do what we do. These are some of the smartest people in the world, in our companies, working on the hardest problems in the most important business process that our companies run. Take a moment and think about that. That is so powerful. It's such a privilege. Now, we think about what's happened from Dreamforce 2022, last 12 months. What's happened is actually relatively profound as we observe big things that are going on that suggest that we are moving from this really promising, exciting, high growth category to this momentum that's going across industries. And it started with CNBC. Earlier this year, they dropped their jobs report, fastest growing jobs in America, the top 10. Fastest growing job in the United States is revenue operations. Not just building a great category, but creating jobs. 500,000 jobs on LinkedIn. Amazing. We also heard from the venture community that over the past 12 months, over 300 companies, new startups have been built that are laser focused on innovations around revenue. And of course, we've seen the SI community starting to build practices to help their customers transform the way they run revenue. That's pretty profound. Over the last 12 months, huge things are happening in our market that are frankly way beyond Clari, that are just happening whether or not we'd be here. So it's really profound as we see the rise of the CRO and the importance around driving more efficiency, growth, and predictability around the revenue process. So you might ask, hey, what is driving this movement? Why is this happening? And the number one thing that we see happening, that we talk about with all of these companies that we engage with, of which there's over 1,500 customers that we now have in our portfolio, is most companies that we talk to, the CEOs, they have a big challenge trying to answer the most important question in business. Will they meet, beat, or miss on revenue? And it's not just one number. Revenue is a multidimensional rubric. We think about it at the rep level, at the opportunity level, at the segment, at the geo, at the product line level. It is arguably the most complicated business process we have in the enterprise. And what's happening under the hood, the biggest problem that we see, that's the most discussed topic in board meetings, that is a thing that CEOs and boards and investors are always thinking about, is revenue leak, right? So think about all of the companies that we've created. We all have product market fit, we have go-to-market fit, we hire the CRO, we're building this team, and we have revenue that is leaking all over the place, and most of our customers don't even know where it's leaking, right? You've got leads that never get touched, targets that go stale, you've got deals that are slipping, that were in commit, you've got deals that are closed, lost, and you look back at that inventory and you go, wait a minute, why did those get lost? And there's just this leak that's happening in every single company, and it has a profound financial implication on every single company. Boston Consulting Group did a report last year that suggests that there's over $2 trillion worth of economic impact happening across all of these companies. Our own Clari Lab, we did research last year that suggests that up to 15% of a company's revenue is lost due to revenue leak. Okay, so put yourself in your operating plan. Put yourself in your revenue pro formas right now. Think about that math and think about, wow, can you imagine if we could capture all that leak and drive 5, 10, 15% more revenue, more growth on top line? That's profound. And the root of this problem that we all face, that companies face today, the core of it is on these disconnected systems that were not built from the ground up, purpose-built to do artificial intelligence, to run the revenue cadence. They are general purpose tools that have, unfortunately, put companies in a position where they are totally disconnected. There's no single source of truth, and they can't truly run revenue in the way that every CRO on the planet wants to run it. It's pretty profound. So that's the bad news. Okay, that's the doom and gloom that's going on. What's the good news? The good news is that we're starting to see this evolution. The market is waking up. They're going away from the proverbial three-headed hydra of Excel and CRM and BI, and they're deploying a purpose-built revenue platform that's built from the ground up to run artificial intelligence, to run the revenue cadence, and make the life of a rep easier, help them close their deal faster, make the life of managers better, help them drive more revenue, and make the life of the executive team better to drive more efficiency, drive more predictability in the way in which they forecast. Now, interestingly enough, we saw on the periphery were these great companies being built around conversational intelligence and around sales engagement. And we started to listen very, very carefully to our customers. And they started to say, in every meeting that I was in, if you guys, you should think about, we're kind of have this swivel chair thing. We want to make sure that we can integrate and unify all of these different types of technology into one platform. And we thought deeply about that. And we started exploring and doing a methodical approach on landscaping and looking at the entire market. We acquired Wingman, which is a company that we fell in love with for conversational intelligence, and we fully integrated it into our product. And of course, we have acquired Groove in sales engagement, now unifying this whole thing. Now I want to pause, and I want to mention that a lot of people are thinking about, okay, well, great, you can consolidate all of this. But we think about, at Clari, we're thinking about how do we consolidate, how do we simplify, how do we unify? And I'm going to break those three things down. We want to help the customer consolidate their spend, consolidate their tech stack complexity, for sure. But we also want to make sure that we simplify the administration of this in terms of their total cost of ownership of running a full revenue platform. And then finally, we're looking to unify that interface to make sure that there's no swivel chair approach, and make sure from rep all the way up to the exec that we have one single system to run it all. And today we're announcing some wonderful integrations and product innovations on that front. First and foremost, we have already, just 3 weeks in, we're shipping these Groove integrations. One is you're going to be in the Clari panel, and you can immediately start to engage with the Groove workflows right from there, taking insights that you get from the Clari platform of, okay, we're single-threaded, multi-threaded, what about contracts? And you can start to activate the outreach and the actions right through Groove in an integrated interface. Also through the Groove Omnibar and the Groove plugin through the browser, we are pushing the ability to have Clari insights go to where the reps and managers live, right? This is integrations. Where's Chris? Where Chris said, I'm going to go off script here. Chris, beautiful, had said, you know what? We can't go to Dreamforce and not have these integrations ready to go. Thank you for applying pressure across all the engineering organization to make that happen. Love that. Love the entrepreneur passion coming in. We have guns a-blazing. Arguably one of my favorite announcements is we bought a company called DealPoint back in Portland. We call it now Clari Align. It's helping with revenue collaboration, buyer, seller collaboration. In my career, I have a lot of experience managing large sales teams and big enterprise deals. What's really exciting about this announcement that is shipping is the ability for us to extend not just the mutual action plan, which is a collaboration interface to the buyer, whether it's a new logo or it's a current customer, but we're integrating all the milestones, all the conversational intelligence data that comes from Wingman, AKA Copilot, so a customer can go in and see across a 6-month sales cycle, every single thing that has happened, record, look at every single meeting, look at all the contracts. What this does is it allows our customers to help their reps shrink the amount of time it takes for them to close deals, drive ASP, drive higher conversion rate through buyer-seller workplaces and collaboration. And then finally, super excited about this, the Wingman integration, fully integrated product. It can't come soon enough. Our customers are constantly asking about this. We've got a lot of integrations already in the product, but we have a fully integrated, unified interface that's coming in a handful of months toward the end of the year, which we're super excited about. Now, as we think about this, it was an analyst who mentioned this, so I'm not going to take credit for this. I think it was Seth Mars, or maybe Forrester, or maybe Dan Gottlieb of Gartner, who had said, what you're doing, Andy, is you're compounding value for the customer, right? As we look at integrating all of this, all of these capabilities, eliminating the swivel chair, simplifying the tech stack, simplifying the spend, being able to unify everything. And we're excited to do this consolidation. And for us, what we're excited about, and I want to make sure I make this point very, very clear. Think about our surface area, Clari, okay? Our strategic surface area has always been internal workflows. How we run that revenue cadence, right? One-on-one, slip deal reviews, forecast calls, net dollar retention meetings, upsell, cross-sell, right? That all the way up from rep to exec, that's that internal strategic surface area. What Groove gives us is all of the external workflows. We have the internal workflows, rep to exec, and we have all the external workflows now on one platform, whether it's SDR, BDR, AE, AM, CSM, all in one platform, and we're super excited to provide that to the market. Okay. Now let's switch gears. Excited about Groove. Love the company, love the unified product. We think we're going to be doing compounding value for customers over time. It's a big transformational moment for us and for our customers. I want to talk about one final big thing that we are seeing in the market. And that thing has nothing to do with our product. Nothing. And it has everything to do with the way we see companies running revenue. I want to do a quick pop quiz, okay? Or this a quick questionnaire, survey. Get ready to raise your hand. First of all, everybody stand up for a second. Everybody stand up. Stand up. Let's make this interactive, okay? Keep standing, okay? Put down your stuff because I'm going to get you to raise your hand. Okay. How many people, when you see run revenue, how many people know what that means? Raise your hand high. Pretty good. Okay. All right. It's like 50%. Oh, obviously, all the employees in the audience that have fricked gone, hey! For those that didn't, we'll be talking afterwards. Okay. How many of you, Clari employees, you don't need to raise your hand. How many of you think your company is world-class at running revenue? It's just shocking. Okay, you can sit. You can sit. I'm so blown away by this, and this is why I get so much energy from this, is that this is so real. Sorry, I know marketing's going to get pissed. I'm going to get HR is going to call me. This is the most important business process. And when we mean run revenue, I want to walk you and ground you in truth and what Kevin Canarium and I call street level. Okay? Get to reality. Get out of the marketing hype and the cool language, and let's just go deep into what's happening, okay? I want to talk about revenue teams, okay? Think about what revenue teams do. Okay, think about all the meetings that we have. One-on-one, forecast calls, slip deal reviews, pipe gen meetings, PG Mondays, right? Let's think about, our net dollar retention, our upsell, cross-sell, all of our white space, and we have all these meetings that are happening every day on the calendar of every week, of every month, of the goddamn quarter. This is what we saw as entrepreneurs, not early on when we started Clari, but we saw something else. Literally about 3 years ago, we went, oh my gosh, this 13-week cadence. No one has built a purpose-built system that can run using artificial intelligence, run this whole 13-week cadence. I went a little off script because that's about product, but I'm going to come back. What I think is profound is when we talk to customers and they think about what is happening in these meetings. We all go into this meeting and we collaborate. Some people miss the meeting and they go, what happened in the meeting? And they're slacking and they're texting and they're collaborating between meetings, right? And so we realized, oh my gosh, what are these companies trying to do? They're trying to collaborate around the most important business process. We call this revenue collaboration. And this is something that CROs are laser focused on in trying to build a blueprint of how they run revenue, current quarter, next quarter, everything that they run, right? So they can become world-class. We call that revenue collaboration, okay? The other piece that's super interesting is when you have conversations with executives and with management teams and boards, they want to control the discipline, the behaviors. We're trying to keep that whole cadence super tight. Every single meeting that happens, we want it to be perfect. Why? Because we want to go from revenue leak to revenue precision. And revenue precision is the ability for us to have predictable, repeatable revenue. And those executives are trying to make sure that, to use street level vernacular, it is dialed, right? And there's never been anybody who's come forth and built a methodology and process that allows people to say, hey, let me just show you where you're horrible at running revenue, right? This is the big thing that we see, which is a set of learnings and best practices that are now being applied across all of these companies that we work with. We call it revenue collaboration and governance, or thank you, marketing, RevCG, which sounds kind of cool, right? RevCG. Anyhow, the power of this, and we look back at our customers and the way they are deploying a revenue collaboration and governance is really an operating strategy on how you run revenue. And the results are profound. There's increased pipeline, increased conversion rates, increased win rates. And to do this, to actually do what we call RevCG, it does require getting out of the three-headed hydra and into a platform that allows you to do this. And at the end of the day, what are we really doing? You see this all over and you see great marketing language here, but it's so rooted in truth and street level stuff. What are we trying to do in sales? What are we trying to do in revenue? We just want to freaking win, right? Every external call that we have, every external workflow, we just don't win that deal, right? We want the customer to win. We want them to win big, right? And in every meeting, an internal meeting we have, we want those to be winning meetings. So we call this winning every revenue moment. And so my ask and final comments on this, thinking about, okay, what do I want to tell the audience? What do I want you all to really go back to your companies and take this strategic narrative for a test drive and look what happens to the conversations within your company on how you stimulate a provocative conversation that most likely will result in driving more efficiency, growth, and predictability, and you increasing your ability to win every revenue moment.